Hello everyone, it's Christine here and I'm back for our stitch along, and we are working on loop stitch using silk embroidery ribbon to make flowers, and we're going to move on to a simple little flower today that we can do lots of around our area. We've got another one that's a bit larger that we'll do tomorrow, so I'll probably leave this space up here for those and I'll work down around the daffodil for these ones today. The book says to use 7mm, or they're using 7mm. I'm just using a 4mm blue in a nice pale bluey, dusky sort of colour. I have tied a knot in the back because otherwise I find I tend to catch on my ribbons and skewer them. So a knot just sort of holds it where I want it to be. So I've popped through and then I'm going to pop back into the fabric about 3mm below the point that I popped out. And as I pull my silk ribbon through, I'm going to slip my finger in to hold it straight. Once it's almost through, I'm going to keep pulling it a bit further and get a 1cm little sort of loop of ribbon left out. I'm then going to bring flatten it down against the surface, and I've got a threaded yellow 6 strands of embroidery cotton, and I'm going to pop up through the middle where I've got it pressed down, almost like you're making a little bow tie sort of shape, and then I'm going to do a French knot. And I'm going to make sure when I'm going through that I'm not pulling at anything that I don't want to pull at on the back. Because the risk with ribbon embroidery is that your ribbon sort of catches and then you end up pulling your ribbon through to the back, which you obviously don't want to do. So again, I think I just want to make sure that my ribbon stays nicely centered on the front. Great. So then we can keep doing some more of those. So I'll pick up my ribbon again. I'll leave the thread hanging at the back, but hopefully not catch onto it. And I might come up here and do another little one. And again, I'll just make sure I'm not kind of pulling too much at my ribbon, because otherwise it will just sort of pull that. Okay. And so again, I will go back into the fabric just a little bit down from where I popped out. I will put my finger in, or you could use a pen or something, and then I'll just pull it till it's about a loop of about a centimetre. I'll then press it down and I'll bring my thread through into the centre, and then I'll do my French knot. Then I will get my thread out of the way over there, and I might come round and do another little one here. And again, taking it back down into the fabric just a short distance below. Managed to, oops. And again, just putting your finger in as you pull it through, just to avoid your ribbon twisting around. If it is a bit twisted like this, hopefully it will straighten up in the process. Yep. Get it down to the size that you want it. And then flatten it down against the fabric, and then pop up through the centre of it as best as you can, like that, and then pop back down to make your little flower. I like to check the back just to make sure I'm not catching on anything. So yeah, it's nice when it gets that little twist in the flowers. So we'll keep practicing. Practice makes perfect, or at least probably not perfect. We're not aiming for perfection. Okay, over here. Do another little one about there. Again, pop back in a few millimeters below, keep the finger there. Oops, that one's still trying to twist a little bit. I'll see if I can get it to go a bit straighter. Okay, and then check where your ribbon is on the back. Get that out of the way. And then hold your ribbon down in the center. And pop through with your thread. And then go back down to create your little flower. And we'll come around a bit further. Still got plenty of ribbon left. Maybe one about here. Looks like we've got a little pull in our thread, but I'm not going to worry too much about it. I don't think it will matter too much. Let's pop back in. Again, see if I can straighten it out a little bit. That will be fine. And then hold it. Actually, I'll put a tiny bit further through. Hold it down. Does have a little tuck in the ribbon, but don't think that will be a problem. This will just put our little French knot right there, I think, if we can come up. So that one's gone nice and twisty. Just get the ribbon out of the way. And then I can probably just tease that little end out, a bit more of that ribbon. Probably use the other end of the needle when I'm teasing it out just to avoid catching it. And then pull my knot nice and tight. So I think I might bring the stems down like they're coming down into a bouquet, and then I might use this little scrap of pink ribbon that I've got from before to make a little bow on the front. So I might start with my daffodil and bring a stem down, just straight down, I think, to about here. Then I might just do some straight stems instead of doing the grab stitch, just up and down. I suppose I could do the odd grab stitch. I'll just show you the grab stitch here. So I'm popping up, and then I'm going to just capture the just tiny edge of the ribbon, and then I'm going to make a little loop, passing my needle behind the ribbon flower, and then pass my needle back into the loop and make the little calyx at the bottom of the flower. And then I'll bring that down to here as well. Probably want to just put something to just anchor that one so that it sits to the side of the petals. So I'll just put a little couching stitch in there just to hold that to the side. This one, sorry, I'll get back on camera. This one I'll just pop my needle up and just capture the little side of the piece of ribbon, and then go behind and then capture the thread and make a little loop. And that one I don't need to take very far down at all because it will be behind where the daffodil is, but then I'll bring another little stem as though it's coming behind the daffodil down to here. And then we'll come up again. So I'll bring one at an angle up as though it would be. So I'll take it behind the petal here and then bring it out here and then take it behind the petal there and then bring it out. And then again I can come up to here and then pop out and catch the side of the ribbon, pop behind the ribbon, create the loop, catch the loop and create my little calyx. And I can actually just anchor that one there. And then I'll come over here again, I can create my little loop, create the calyx, and then bring that down to the center, about there. And then that's my little stems. Oops, sorry, just bumped the camera, apologies. I will thread my little scrap. I think I've actually got a smaller scrap. Let me just grab my other scrap out because I think that's even smaller. It is, by the way, this piece is a usable piece of ribbon, but this one's probably too small to use for ribbon embroidery, so perfect that I use it for this purpose. So I'm going to just bring my, actually I want to go down with my ribbon at the front and hold on to that piece and then pop out on the other side so that I get ribbon ends on both sides. And then we want to see if I can tie myself a little ball. Otherwise I can do it actually couching down the thread to make the bow if it's not going to tie, but we'll see how we go. Like it, but that piece of ribbon was made for this purpose, but it was actually just the offcut from above. Oops. Straighten it up a little bit. And I can always put a stitch in place if I want to hold the end sort of in a particular position after I finish, but I won't make you watch that. But let's just give it a little primp and a little preen to get it to sit nicely. And there we go. That is our little daffodil and other flower bouquet. I think that is very sweet. I like that. And so we'll be coming back tomorrow and doing another twisted loop flower, I think it is. Trying to turn the page in the book. Twisted plumes. So I will see you for that. Thanks so much for watching. Bye everyone.